My name's Taves.
Hi, my name's Khoury.
What I'm hoping people will learn by watching this video is that when we do podcasts, in other words, myself and whoever I'm podcasting with, don't do visual elements for a good reason. There's no audience.
It's just basically, just a couple of guys, and, basically, shooting the shit, really.
A podcast, for those who don't know, is a audio show presented unedited for the most part, except for maybe some typing up, and uncensored, so you can curse all you want or not, and it's presented with the idea that you're listening and getting entertainment through listening, so you can be doing other things like watching a silent movie, or you can be instant messaging, Facebooking, hell, you can even be running. Yeah, just don't try to write an email, that's a little bit distracting. My argument has been for my podcast that people need to either learn something or have fun with it. So if you're not having fun with laughing with us, in other words, myself, Mike Emble, Casey, Thomas, who've been in one episode, and various other people after this video, then you have to be learning something. So what are you learning? Are you learning about Hollywood history? Are you learning about stupid and inane shit that happens to my friends and I? Or are you learning about horrible things that happen to us through a certain college in the local neighborhood that will remain nameless? Or what? So my argument has always been that you have to learn something if you're not having fun. And if you're not learning something, you have to have fun. So sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll get both. Alrighty, welcome to the show. This is a mock podcast to show why we don't have an audience. I'm Nate Taves.
I'm Khoury.
And we've been doing podcasts for, about a couple of years now?
Yeah, around that.
I think we started in, April 2010 doing podcasts, so now it's June 2010 we started with podcasting, and now here we are 2 years down the road. So it's been 2 years, and originally it just started off as like an extension of a video, I think.
Yeah.
And we were talking about losing control and all that stuff. So now we're further along, and we're still talking about videos. I got thinking the other day. Normally we drink during this. So we'll be doing that in the next few podcasts that we'll record after this in particular excerpt of a said podcast. But I was thinking the other day about Disney films, positive Disney films,
Oh.
and I was wondering what were your favorite Disney films? And I'll tell you why I asked that in a minute. So,
Wow, you asked that. Um, well, let's see. My favorite Disney film. That's a good one.
yeah, I guess let's limit it a little bit so it makes it a little bit easier. Favorite Disney films that are animated.
They're animated, okay, so I would have to break it up into categories.
Yeah. So let's do animated.
Animated. Well, favorite Disney films are animated. Let me think about that.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
You want me to go first and you can think of yours? Okay, as he nods his head. I would have to say that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is in there. Bambi as well. Lady and the Tramp. Alice in Wonderland. 101 Dalmatians, the original, not the remake, obviously. Because it wasn't animated the second time around, that's why. Lion King, Pocahontas, Aladdin, Peter Pan, A Bug's Life, Toy Stories, all three. I would probably extend it slightly and say that James and the Giant Peach would be in there. And obviously there's other films like Beauty and the Beast and some of the mixed animation with live action things like Mary Poppins and the other one. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, although that wasn't really Disney, but that kind of a thing. Space Jam was one. Yeah. So that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's I think probably my favorite in terms of the animated stuff goes. So how about you?
I would say, as far as anime goes, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Then there's another animated Snow White.
It wasn't Tale of Terror.
No. It was a little bit darker than some dwarfs.
Or was it Six Dwarfs?
No. She has to save her father or something like that. And then
what's Cinderella? Go ahead.
Okay, well, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty, all the classics. Now, of course, keep in mind, that I wasn't around when Disney,
Was, yeah.
Well, yeah, I wasn't around when he was, and also I wasn't around, when,
Neither was I, for that matter. I ain't that old.
Yeah, I'm not that old, so I don't remember the days in which you, could, have, cigarettes in a cheap movie, but.
It wasn't that something. We still have some of those around, too.
And then, let's see what else is fun. Like Lady and the Tramp, I would say, that's about good. That's, there's more, but that's a good number.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Aladdin, by any chance? Or did you stop watching Disney by that point?
No, it wasn't I stopped watching. I don't know. I haven't really seen any animated ones in a while. Unless they've been a combo. Unless it's in the live action or the combos.
Okay, so like Space Jam, so
Yeah.
and Space Jam was okay in your estimation, I'm guessing.
Well, actually, Space Jam, if you catch their Bugs Bunny's little joke in there, it was aimed at Disney.
Yeah, that's true. It's just it's billed as Disney Space Jam. That's the interesting part.
Which is weird because Bugs Bunny works for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, don't you love that little fact to it? As Bugs Bunny would say, "Yeah, what a maroon."
So yeah, so I haven't seen many of the animated ones in a while. I've seen live action ones, mixtures, um, anything else that's Disney Channel stuff.
Okay, so Lizzie McGuire or
They,
stuff.
you know, I don't remember when they started, but they've been producing,
Yeah.
films for that for.
Yeah, and then there was like ABC Family that did some Disney tie-ins back in the day. Like these are no longer animated, but they're live action. Things like Susie Q
Yeah.
or Halloween Town. Remember those?
Yeah.
Susie Q. I still want to find that movie on DVD, but they don't have it.
I do too.
Hurry up and release it.
Which
Better
is,
yet, put it on Blu-ray.
yeah. I want to find that one. I mean, there's some other ones I want to find, on DVD. Well, actually, one would be even harder because I don't think it's actually on DVD.
Oh, what is it?
Obviously, it's not a Disney film, but
Right.
it was a film that I was on a lot when I was growing up.
Okay.
A camp film called Poison Ivy. I think it's available on VHS only. And I found copies online on DVD, but I wouldn't trust those people because they've recorded onto DVD and I don't know them. I mean, if someone I knew were to get it on VHS, transfer to DVD for me, I would, that would be all right because,
Well, I mean, you could always get the DVD and have somebody that you know that has the dubbing machine do the dub for you, assuming that it's not copy protected.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain amount of VHS films. Spoilers.
It is pretty old, and I mean, it was a made-for-TV film back in the 80s, so I don't think they really thought much about that.
Yeah, but I mean, there are certain films from the 80s that even had copy protection on them.
That's true.
Like there's freaking Disney films that always had
But
that.
like you're saying, I mean, this would be the time for someone to finally take stuff that haven't been transferred. I mean, professionally transferred to transfer them professionally.
Yeah, well, I mean, not for nothing, but with these on-demand movies now that made on demand, fucking release these things. Like, there's a plethora of films out there that were great fun and should be seen that aren't being seen because they're not available. Like, freaking release them.
Yeah.
Even if they're manufactured on demand, you'll more than make your money back for making a digital copy of it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that everything, is like that because, there have been a lot of ones transferred. There's still ones that need to be transferred to DVD. Now they've made a lot of smart choices like releasing Stand By Me on Blu-ray and stuff like that. So, they're just. I mean, I know it's a lot of them to do, and you gotta pretty much have one place to do it, but you can't because you probably have people all over the United States doing it, so you gotta check in. And
Yeah, well, I mean, the ones that get me are have you gone on the web recently and looked at like any of the stuff that's coming soon that we'll get into in another podcast?
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically something like Lethal Weapons that were available in the UK or region codes 2 through 4 for like a long ass time before they became available in the US. Now all of a sudden,
Yeah.
It's like $55. Get your Lethal Weapon collection. Oh, by the way, they're not the director's cuts.
Yeah.
Or what was billed as their director's cuts,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's rumors that I hear that the director was like, no, the theatrical cut was the director's cut.
Yeah.
So who the hell knows what to believe? But you've seen this where they have the films out for like 2 or 3 years before we get them. It's
Yeah.
like, how dare you?
I know. I mean, there is a
Yeah, bravo for
Yeah.
knowing the films, but
Yeah.
how dare you have them before
Yeah.
I do?
But now there's a but yeah, you gotta have a group of people looking and saying, okay, these haven't been transferred professional DVD. Let's do those. Have people working on different ends of it too. People that just deal with movies and films, and other people work with the TV side because they're starting to catch up on that now.
Right. That's what I've done, yeah.
And that and that's fine. I mean, I like that. I mean, I think when I finally do get a series on DVD, not that I won't get many, but I think the first one I'll probably get will be one that I remember watching growing up.
Yeah, which was?
Punky Brewster.
Yeah, okay. For some reason, I just got this picture of Brewster McLeod in my head, which has nothing to do with it. But
No, it has. This my introduction to Sullivan Fry was quite young. I mean, I was quite young too. So
yeah, well, I was thinking you were growing up.
And her
Take
like
it back.
not foster, like adoptive father figure guy who was played by George Gaines, who also was in Police Academy movies as Commandant Lassard.
Okay, so it had a pretty good cast. Okay, so that's been our podcast excerpt. Just give you an idea as to why we don't have visuals. It's just two guys sitting in a room BSing. And literally all this was off the top of our heads. We don't have any notes for this one. Normally we have notes. So with that, my name's Nate Taves.
I'm Casey Khoury.
And go and listen to some of our actual podcasts, damn it.